Hello everyone, I hope this finds you well. I've got a sort of haul and review and informational video for you today. As you know, I generally don't do just pure kind of look what I've got haul videos. I try to do videos that at least have a little bit more either kind of review or educational information, something to them other than just this is what I bought today, look at me kind of thing. Those are something fun to watch, but I try to do a little bit something else in the videos to make them a little bit more interesting than that. So what I've got today is it's mostly a haul, but there is some information to be had here. I'm basically sort of calling this a failed test scent haul. There are a bunch of other things going on in here besides, of course, failed test scent candles, but that's sort of the main focus. I went to a local test store a couple of days ago, and I believe it was 5 transactions, which is kind of a lot for me. But I figured I'd also talk about sort of how I did the transactions, since people kind of will share tips and tricks on the best way to get the best value for their money using various coupons. So I'll kind of run through that, tell you what I got, and then I guess we should start off with some of the most interesting info, which is sort of learning about which test scents from the fall and winter collections are definite failures not going wide, because some of them are not surprising and some of them are a bit surprising. So when I went to the test store, they were doing 2 for 22 like everyone else. Then they also had a table in the middle that was just 50% off, unrelated to the 2 for 22 sale. And it was just a stack of, had to have been 100 candles or more. And there were probably 10 or 12 different scents there, and they were just 50% off. They were clearly, scents that did not go wide to all stores, and this would sort of confirm that they're trying to, sweep them out, get rid of them to make room for what's next. So I'll tell you, some of the obvious ones are on the table were from the fall collections. From the winter or from the fall woods, there was coconut wood, vanilla vetiver, cedarwood trail, pine cone. And then from the winter collection, there was autumn snow, frosted pine, frosted gingerbread, surprisingly, vanilla latte, sugared apples, winter cafe, winter wreath, and snowed in. Now those are from 4 different collections really, so just a little more in depth. Autumn snow was a repackage of pine cone. Autumn snow was in the White Barn Woods collection, along with the winter wreath, snowed in, apple garland, vanilla cedarwood, winter fig releases. But this one, autumn snow, which was just an updated version of pine cone, also failed, which has really bummed me out. As you can see, I've got 3 pine cone candles there because I really, really love the scent. It's one of my new favorites. Really bummed out that it's not going wide. I've got one autumn snow. I've already burned through 1 whole pine cone. I think I might have 1 other one. So I probably have 4 or 5 total, which kind of is a lot for me, but I learned my lesson in the past where if there's a scent, especially a test scent, that fails and you love it, you've got to grab them, because especially when they're 50% off and you're going to use a coupon and they're going to be $6 or $7, you'll be kicking yourself if you pass that up for something else that's super easy to get. So anyhow, yeah, as you can see, the pine cones, which I'll sniff a little bit and give you a little bit of an in-depth on those, but I have reviewed them before. Coconut wood, vanilla vetiver, cedarwood trail, not surprising. Pine cone, not surprising. Autumn snow from the winter collection, again, not surprising. Frosted gingerbread, however, from the Bath & Body Works Holiday Tradition collection is kind of surprising. I'm not sure why they tested. This year there were a few candles in the fall that they tested that had gone wide in years past, like creamy pumpkin, and then didn't this year. And it seems like frosted gingerbread, which came out in 2011 and 12, they tried it this year. It just didn't sell quite enough, and they dropped it from the wide release. Now, this is all subject to change. They could surprise us in a month, or your store might get some of the back stock, or for the semi-annual sale, you might see them in stores other than test stores. But officially, they're saying that the frosted gingerbread candle will not get a wide release. Vanilla Be Noel, I've heard some people say that it's not going to be in all stores. It was not in the 50% off bin at this point, so I believe that it could still go wide if it hasn't yet. But just in case it doesn't, I did grab that, but that was just part of the standard 2 for 22 sale. What you don't see here, Frosted Pine, which I reviewed in an earlier video by itself in the Snow Day collection, the really weird kind of musty pine. That one is a failed test scent, not going wide. Winter Wreath, which you see I did buy here. That one is a repackaged of May Mistletoe, which I reviewed earlier. Also, great one, not going wide. Apple Garland you see here, I really love. apple pine, really perfect for this year. Sort of a sister to Tis the Season with a little bit more authenticity, kind of outdoorsy notes to it. What else? Snowed In, which, like Frosted Gingerbread, came out last year. This year it came to test stores, and for whatever reason, it's not supposedly going wide to all stores, which bums me out because I really love it. I just think it's a really great, like they say, Snowed In, a sweet but woodsy but comforting, warm winter scent, but not going wide. And then finally, what am I missing here from my list? Three scents from the kind of strange winter market fresh picked collection, which I did the video a couple of videos ago of four of them: the clementine and the cinnamon tea and the sugar pear and berries. The three that were clearly cut that are not going wide. Now the whole collection might fail. It's hard to say. The label says 2013 on them, so if they're going to get to all stores, they've got to come out soon. So I would say sometime in December. If not, then maybe the whole collection will fail or be re-released as 2014 in January. But the ones that were definitely in the sort of failure pile were the brown sugared apples, which I reviewed in my last video. Winter Cafe, which is just the espresso bar harvest coffee candle that we've known from the past year. And then finally this one that was sort of a later release in the collection, Winter Vanilla Latte, which surprised me that it was kind of one of the last ones to come out in that collection, and it's already failed. I did smell Merry Mango and Mulled Cider there. They were not in the discounted pile, but I hadn't sniffed them before. And Merry Mango was nice, but very generic summer Bath and Body Works candle. And Mulled Cider really just smelled like leaves or spiced cider, almost a spiced apple toddy, like nothing unique to it at all that made me want to grab it, even on sale. So that's that collection. So that's, yeah, those are sort of the new sort of confirmed failures from the fall and winter test scents, if anyone wanted to know, or, I'm not sure how they're working now with phone orders. I know that some folks said that customer service can do phone orders or what. But if that's the case, which again, I'm not sure, I really don't know. I'm sorry that I don't have more info on that. If that's the case, or if you're within driving distance of a test store, and you want those scents, you gotta grab them now because they'll be gone. So I figured the rest of this haul, I'll sniff some of these that I haven't sniffed before to tell you about them, and I'll just tell you how I broke down the various transactions. I did 5 transactions here. I had a bunch of coupons, surprise there. I did 9 candles, so it was 3, 3, and 3. Obviously the 3 pine cone, then the gingerbread, the vanilla bean Noel, and apple garland, and then finally the vanilla latte snowed in and winter wreath. Now 10 off 30 on all 3 of those transactions, and then I had coupons for free mini candle, 2 of them, which is why you see the winter candle and the frosted cranberry mini candle. And surprisingly, I think they were mailer coupons, and they actually said on the back can be combined with the 10 off 30 coupon only. So they were sort of, it was the tear off cardboard coupons, and they were together, and those 2 coupons said they could be used in combination, which is very rare. They don't, almost ever allow stacking of coupons. But for that, I was able to do 3 candles for 30 because these were 50% off candles for the most part. So 3 for 30, $10 off, and the mini candle. So for $22 with tax, it was 3 candles and the mini one. Really great deal. The other transaction I did was I wanted to get these Holly Citrus Wreath soaps. The soaps were $4 for $15, nothing great, the standard sale, but I really loved them, and they weren't in the regular store I go to, so I had to grab 2 of those. So for that transaction, I did 2 Holly Citrus Wreaths. I did a Twisted Peppermint, which can't go wrong, and of course Vanilla Bean Noel, can't go wrong. Those are basically backups at this point. And then for that one, I had one of the, I think it was from an in-store coupon of spend $15, get any $13 item free. So for that, it was tempting to go for something, to get the best values, get a $13 item, whether that means, a $12.50 mason jar or something like that. But I saw this ceramic soap holder, and it's kind of kitschy. I guess it could be borderline kind of general dollar store tacky, but you know what? I went with it. I love the holidays. Put this in the guest bathroom. It's just a silly little cute, again, little, some people could call it tacky. I think most people would agree it's pretty cute. Little ceramic soap holder. It's kind of awkward to me, the way that it does cover this up, the soap, but it's nice. The retail on it, I believe, was $10.50, and it actually has these little like drain holes that go through the bottom. So it's kind of well designed so that you don't get like watery soap, scum behind there. And it seems like it's nice quality. It's ceramic or some sort of ceramic-like material, which makes it seem like it's nice quality. It's not just a cheap plastic or a rubber or something. So that's $10.50. So I got that for free. So I might not have paid $11 for it, but for free, why not? And then the next transaction, another one that's not super great. There are definitely coupon stackers and coupon folks who would do a better job than I did with this one, but here's what I did. So the day that I went in, Twisted Peppermint, or rather all Triple Moisture body creams were $5, which kind of is the best deal that you'll ever get on those. I don't use a ton of their lotions, but Twisted Peppermint is one, especially in the winter. The body cream of it is just really nice. It's cooling. It just smells like Christmas and winter to me. And it's certainly the time of year where I really do need at least hand cream. And so I grabbed that for $5. Picked up the shower gel for $12.50, which it did feel very weird, I must admit, to be paying full on $12.50 for a shower gel, because usually it's with coupons or buying 2 getting 1 and using a survey coupon, but I straight up paid $12.50 for that. Plus the $5 on this, that was $17.50. And then I had another free spend 15 get 13 item free, so I got this Vanilla Bean Noel shower gel. So not the best use of $17.50 for those 3 items. Not the most, the best value you'll ever get, but pretty decent. And again, you can't pass up the $5 for the Triple Moisture body cream. That's a very good deal. So those were those 2 transactions. Then of course just the 3 candle transactions. The pillar back there, the little snowman peeking out, it's from a past transaction. I'm just using it in the video because it makes it look a little more interesting. But let me do a quick sniff review on things that you've not heard me talk about before. First up, Holly Citrus Wreath. Now, Holly Citrus Wreath, according to the website, because they don't put the notes on the soap containers, which I wish they would, is hollyberry, blood orange, and green pine. Oh, so great. They usually, in the past couple of years, have had some version of either, of course, the citrus garland, which I'm still trying to find and adore. And I never say I adore things, but I love that soap scent. But they've had, holly garland, holly wreath. I think holly citrus wreath is new. Blood orange is just a sweet, intense, sweet, bright orange. You get a little bit of the golden pine or green pine, not at all the kind of astringent kind of balsam or anything like that. Just a light pine, slightly sweet almost. It's fresh, but I love my freshes and herbals across the board, but it's got enough kind of sweetness to it or brightness that it does give it kind of a holiday cheer. So it's just a perfect winter scent that still has a fun kind of uplifting holiday note to it. So really love that. I'm happy I grabbed 2 of those. So let's see, what are we missing here? Twisted Peppermint, everyone knows. I reviewed that in many hauls and reviews in the past. Same thing with Vanilla Bean Noel. I'll quickly touch on Apple Garland, in case you didn't watch my big videos from when they first came out with the winter collections. Apple Garland was celebrate the season with an abundant blend of apples, ripe cranberries, and fresh balsam, which, come on, 3 things right up my alley. Just so nice. I don't know why this didn't go wide. To me, it has complete mass appeal. Apple, anything is always a big seller, especially to bring apple into a winter line and do it well and make it seem appropriate and not just pandering to apple, is impressive. I think I need to smell this more closely next to the Merry Christmas 2012 Bath & Body Works White Barn candle, because it's very similar to that, which was also known as Apple Spruce in test phases, and then Merry Christmas, or whatever Christmas it was. So I think this may be that. It's just a pure... It reminds me a little bit of like the Winter Wonderland Merry Mistletoe kind of stuff. You've got, cranberries, a tart cranberry apple, and a sweet kind of spruce. They say balsam, but it's more of like a spruce, like 'cause it's a little bit sweeter, not as astringent. Just a really nice candle. Bummed that it's not going wide. Everyone probably has heard pine cone. This was from the fall line. Back then they called it spruce, evergreen, and cypress. So pine cone makes sense because that is pine. And I may do a more in-depth review on this when I do. I will definitely be doing, stay tuned for it, a pine sort of comparison of pine cone, apple garland, winter wreath, fresh balsam, evergreen, all the different candles that they have with pine nuts, and sort of compare, contrast, and talk about the ones that I like and don't like as much. So I'll be doing that maybe in my next video, but it'll take me a little while to figure out how to do that one. But it's not at all cologne-y. It's got pine, but it's got such a sweetness to it, kind of reminiscent of the snowed-in sweetness, where it's just a kind of sappy sweet. I just really love it, and I don't know why it didn't go wide. They tried it again with the winter collection, calling it Autumn Snow, putting a prettier label on it. And the notes changed a little bit, and they called it Peppermint, Evergreen, and Balsam. So they took out sort of the unknown cypress that people don't really understand. Same candle. It's just so good, you guys. I wish everyone got a chance to sniff it because it's just so nice. So anyways, I had to grab 3 of those because I've learned my lesson with test scents in the past. Snowed In. First one of these I bought this season because I figured they were going to go wide and I could grab it whenever, but apparently not. And they say here, spend the day indoors preparing for the perfect holiday with the uplifting fragrance of fresh juniper, sugared sap, and sage. Juniper berries are great in really kind of intense, fresh candles. I believe there's juniper berries, this is juniper, but juniper berries were in, of course, holly wreath from years ago, and then, of course, sweater weather. And this one, it just seems so classic, like a classic holiday with the sugared sap, and the sort of unique pine note to it from the juniper. And then, everyone knows this one now. I did a review on this a couple weeks back, Winter Wreath. Notes were listed as sweet orange, winter pear, and a hint of rosemary. I mean, sign me up. It is Merry Mistletoe repackaged from 2011 and 12. So nice. Maybe it's just the, if they would have thrown, certainly this one, they could have kept as Merry Mistletoe, thrown it into the Snow Day collection with a different label, different colored wax, and I think it would have been a hit. Again, it's their marketing folks testing things out. Let's move on before we get to Winter Vanilla Latte. Quickly talk about Frosted Gingerbread. I have owned this in the past in smaller forms. I've never purchased it in a 3-wick because I never loved it. Sometimes I can be a sucker for labels. This is a pretty good one. The notes on it are inspired by our favorite family recipe, a fragrant blend of gingerbread and creamy icing makes a perfect gift for you or someone you love, blah, blah, blah. I just want the notes, not a story. Gingerbread and icing. Now, this is not a spicy gingerbread by any means. It's very creamy. It's almost more like the way the pumpkin spice latte doesn't really smell that much like spice or pumpkin. It's a creamy, sweet, milky kind of Starbucks beverage. This really could be like a Starbucks, a gingerbread latte. The way that they do lattes where they don't have espresso in them at Bath & Body Works. They're just creamy gingerbread warm drinks. Or creamy, milky warm drinks. This has a little hint of the gingerbread, a little bit of bakery. Bath & Body Works is not amazing at bakery. I'll admit Yankee Candle can do bakery much better across the board. Bath & Body Works has had their hits, cinnamon sugar donut, things like that, but across the board, they're not best at that. It's nice. Weirdly enough, I used to smell, and still get a little bit, it smells a little bit like Tostitos brand Hint of Lime Tostitos tortilla chips. I don't know why. There's something in there. Maybe it's the dry bakery note, but to me it just leans a little bit more towards like corn tortillas. Still nice. It was worth getting. It does really have it. The one thing it's good at is the frosting. Not frosting. I almost wouldn't call it icing. I'd more call it like a powdered sugar glaze, where it's like, a half cup of powdered sugar, a few drops of lemon juice, and 2 teaspoons of milk to make just a really light kind of sugar cookie frosting glaze that just covers the top of the cookie and drips off, and then it's a thin kind of icy sheen. And I get that very nicely and authentically, not cloying or drippingly sweet, and not at all like a creamy kind of buttercream frosting or anything like that. So yeah, I figured when I saw that it was failing, I had to grab it just because I'd never had it before. I liked it enough. My nose was kind of coming around to it this year, and I didn't want to miss out on it. Vanilla Bean Noel, everyone knows this. Most people love it. You've got a creamy blend of vanilla bean, rich cocoa, which, not true, and sweet cream with a touch of caramel and brown sugar. To me, this smells very milky. Almost a hint of like a non-fat vanilla yogurt, like not a Greek yogurt, but like a really sweet kind of old-fashioned Yoplait, vanilla yogurt, super sugary. It's got that much of a milky creaminess to it, without being thick. And again, a little tiny bit of caramel. I talked more in depth about Vanilla Bean Noel in my soap video recently, if you want to hear me talk about that. And that leaves us finally with the wild card here. Of course, winter. Everyone knows winter, and everyone knows frosted cranberry there. So I will skip talking about those. I've talked about them in the past. Leaves us with winter vanilla latte. This was again part of the, what are they calling this here? The winter market fresh. Come on, focus. Come on. Maybe it's not going to happen. Let's see. Nope. All right, sorry guys. Anyhow, winter, there we go. Winter Market Fresh Pick 2013 Winter Vanilla Latte. It's got sort of the gunmetal brushed lids. The labels, hit or miss. Some people love them, some people hate them. I don't love the ribbon, but at the same time, it's still interesting. You know, it's something different, so I like different. The notes in this one read, Winter Invite, let's do coffee. Please join us for a smooth and creamy blend of premium vanilla beans and luscious caramel topped off by decadent whipped cream. Now again, winter vanilla latte, and they're saying vanilla beans, caramel, and cream. So don't really get how that is a latte. Again, this is their way of doing lattes without espresso beans in there. And that we know that they can do espresso well with the Harvest Coffee candle. So I don't know why they wouldn't mix that with just a true hell. I mean, Vanilla Bean Noel plus espresso bar or Harvest Coffee would make a wonderful vanilla latte candle, and it would be exactly what people want. Now this, there are vanilla beans, there is caramel, a good hit of like a biting kind of dark caramel, not as super light, and cream. This is a repackage. I haven't been able to put my finger on it exactly yet. We smelled it a year or two, maybe 3 years ago. If anyone can remember scents that were like this, I want to say that it's Creamy Nutmeg from years ago, which was just kind of nutmeg with, again, nutmeg with cream, surprise. I think that might be what this is, but then I'm also thinking, I feel like there was something, probably a failed test scent, within the past year and a half or so, that smelled a lot like Creamy Nutmeg did. I even might have spoken about it in a video where I said it smelled like Creamy Nutmeg. And I don't remember, it was trying to be a bakery item maybe when they did it before, as like after Creamy Nutmeg. Can't remember exactly, but I said then it smelled like Creamy Nutmeg. And that's what this also smells like. No, I'm trying to think, was it like sugar and spice, or was it like cinnamon caramel swirl? No, it wasn't any of that, because there's no cinnamon to this. Really, it's heavy on the nutmeg, some dark caramel, and some vanilla beans, but not like the Vanilla Bean Noel. So not a vanilla latte, an okay scent, but does not fit as fresh picked Winter Market. So I can see why that failed. But I liked it enough. I liked Creamy Nutmeg years ago, enough to grab it, since I knew that it was, take it or leave it, hit or miss, or, grab it or it's gone kind of thing. So again, that is my review, my haul. Hopefully a bit informative and enjoyable of the failed test scents from fall and winter, along with a couple, soaps and things in there. If you have any questions, hit me up below, and until next time, take care.